Mary's dress way. Like a vision, she dances across the porch as a radio plays. Roy Orbison singing for lonely. It's me and I want you only. Don't turn me on again. I just can't face myself alone again.
The Heartland.
Run back inside, darling. You know just what I'm here for. So you're scared and you're thinking that maybe we ain't so young anymore. We show a little faith and magic in
love
the
it.
night. Ain't a beauty but you're alright.
Yep.
Oh, and that's alright with me.
Sing it, Bruce. It doesn't get better than that in the East Coast, man. That's my music right there. I actually, when I was growing up, I didn't really like Bruce Springsteen because, you know why? I thought Bruce Springsteen, growing up on the East Coast, I felt like he was mocking. I felt like he was mocking me. I felt like he was making fun of my past. In a weird way, he was saying, "There's a town full of losers. We're pulling out of here to win." It's like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? I'm no loser. I didn't get it, you know, when I was growing up, and it took me a while. It took years later for me to really, for what he was saying to really resonate, right? And Springsteen is instrumental. So when I feel when I feel nostalgic about my past or hopeful about the future of this country, I often think of Springsteen. I often go back and listen to the old albums, Born to Run. Still one of my favorite artists of all time. So here we are, Bernie Sanders getting ripped off in Iowa, you heard? While Bernie Sanders, the good senator from Vermont, is campaigning, actually not campaigning, but doing his constitutional duty, as he calls it, to oversee the jury for the impeachment of Donald J. Trump, the Democrats are busy sticking a knife in his back, along with Politico lying their ass off about what's going on in California. So those are the two big catches. We'll watch some of the let's watch some of the videos together of the actual smear. I'll show you the actual smear, but before we do that, let's look at Bernie Sanders in his own words. It's not as if this is any surprise. It's not as if this is something out of the ordinary for the Democrats to attack Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders is a loner. Bernie Sanders is the guy that you want representing you. Bernie Sanders represents the people. And in Washington, he's a loner. He's by himself. That's precisely the guy you want defending you, defending your interests, the things that are of interest to you. Is Bernie Sanders, in his own words, telling you exactly what's going on.
It is no secret that our campaign is taking on the political establishment and the big money interests, who are now running negative ads against us in Iowa. The billionaire class is getting nervous, and they should. Under our administration, there will be real campaign finance reform so that billionaires will not be able to buy elections as they're trying to do right now. Under our administration, the wealthy and the powerful will begin paying their fair share of taxes. The drug companies will no longer rip off the American people. The fossil fuel industry will not continue destroying our planet. And healthcare will become a human right, not a means for insurance companies to make billions. The big money interests can run all the negative ads they want, but it's not going to work. The people in Iowa and across America are sick and tired of status quo politics, and they want a government that will work for all of us, not just wealthy campaign contributors. Our opponents may have endless amounts of money, but we have the people, and our grassroots movement will prevail.
It's just such a simple, straightforward message for the people. Income and wealth inequality in this country, corruption in politics, getting money out of politics, the money influence in politics, universal single-payer health care. It's us versus them. It's regular people versus the billionaire class. It just doesn't get more simple and more grassroots than that. Really. So here's the hit piece, right? That's what Bernie Sanders is out there saying right now. And here's an ad that the Democratic, some super PAC, DMFI, we don't even know where the money's coming from. But here you go. Here's a guy. Here's a campaign running, a 30-second campaign running in Iowa. Listen to this.
The most important thing is we have to beat Trump.
We've seen the damage that Trump and the Republican Congress have done.
I doubt if Bernie Sanders can beat Trump.
I like Bernie. I think he has great ideas. But Michigan, Pennsylvania, Iowa, they're just not going to vote for a socialist.
I do have some concerns about Bernie Sanders' health, considering the fact that he did have a heart attack.
I think it's very important that the Democrats nominate somebody that can beat Trump.
I don't feel as though Bernie Sanders would do well against Donald Trump.
I just don't think Bernie can beat Trump.
DMFI PAC is responsible for the content of this advertisement.
So it's 100% that Bernie Sanders beats Trump across. I don't think Bernie Sanders can beat Trump. Well, based on if you stick your head out the window and you ask the vast majority of people in this country, they will tell you through their polling that Bernie Sanders is the most popular political candidate and politician in American history right now, but he also beats Trump handsomely. We already know that. Let's look at this one more time. Let's just break this hit piece down.
Most important thing is we have to beat Trump.
Okay, the most important thing is we have to beat Trump, but who's going to beat Trump? Joe Biden? What's the alternative? Right? You don't have a candidate that can beat Trump. Right? The only candidate that can beat Trump is Bernie Sanders.
We've seen the damage that Trump and the Republican Congress have done.
I doubt if Bernie Sanders can beat Trump.
I doubt it if Bernie Sanders could beat Trump. Well, you shouldn't doubt it, man. Again, this is I know these are actors. I know these are people just paid to say what's on their mind, to say what's on the card. But nonetheless, because you're up there, you get attacked.
I like Bernie. I think he has great ideas. But Michigan, Pennsylvania, Iowa.
Michigan, Pennsylvania, Iowa all voted for Bernie Sanders. Michigan, Pennsylvania, Iowa in the primaries, Bernie Sanders.
They're just not going to vote for a socialist.
I do have some.
Okay, there's the socialist smear. Bernie Sanders is a socialist, right? Look, socialism for the rich and rugged individualism for everybody else. That's what this guy wants. It's ignorance.
Concerns about Bernie Sanders' health, considering the fact.
Okay, so a young girl, they find a young bucket, whatever she is, a young pig, to say that Bernie Sanders is too old, he had a heart attack.
The fact that he did have a heart attack.
I think it's very
And meanwhile, there's no evidence that it is slowing him down. People have heart attacks all the time.
important that the Democrats nominate somebody that can beat Trump.
I don't feel as though Bernie Sanders would do well against Donald Trump.
I just don't think Bernie can beat Trump.
DMFI PAC is responsible for the content of this advertisement.
So those are three people that we don't want voting for Bernie anyway, right? Fuck you. So that's the hit piece running in Iowa right now. But more interestingly is this. So Politico has this ad out, this piece. What I learned about watching Bernie Sanders for hours on end. It's an interesting article. I found it fun to read, and it talks about a couple of people that were they're up in the tiers watching Bernie Sanders sit in the Congress, sit in Senate, fidgeting, moving around, restless. He doesn't take notes. He gets up all the time. He's bothering the guy next to him. He's got to get up. So, but more importantly, it describes him as the loner, as a guy who is not well liked whatsoever in D.C., where he hangs out and nobody talks to him. That's to be expected because you're surrounded by career politicians, money grabbers. And Bernie Sanders is the opposite. Bernie Sanders is there to, in this old-fashioned way, actually service the people. Right? He doesn't take the big corporate money. I know, $1 billion. He made $1 million selling a book. I know. It's a big difference between taking $100 million like Nancy Pelosi from lobbyists, and as opposed to selling a book. All right, they're not even in the same category. But this is the thing that disturbs me right here, is that Politico, this is a straight up lie. Right? This is not exactly news. Sanders has always been a loner in the chamber. But what makes it so jarring to watch up close is that it was occurring just as his new campaign was taking off. As the trial started, a trove of political data told a new story about the presidential race. Sanders was gaining ground in Iowa and New Hampshire. No, he's not gaining. He's now winning. He remained competitive in Nevada. He's favored to win Nevada now. And he was tied with Biden in California. Tied with Biden in California? Where? Where is your evidence, Politico, that Bernie Sanders is tied with Biden in California? Simply not true. Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders has a 30% over 15 Biden lead. He has a double. Bernie Sanders 30%, Biden 15%, according to NPR in California. Where is your evidence, Politico? Where are you saying, where is your evidence that Biden is tied with Bernie Sanders in California? That's a straight up lie. The state with the most Democratic delegates. They make the point that it's the state with the most Democratic delegates. It comes on Super Tuesday. Politico Lies. All right? So, straight up lie. Right? With no evidence. They just say, oh, yeah, it's tied. So these are the latest polls. California, Bernie Sanders slaughtering. Pennsylvania, I don't believe any of that. I'm not buying any of that yet. I'm not buying any of it yet. I think it's all rigged. Iowa, New Hampshire, Nevada. Let's talk about California. So that was the hit piece. Let's look at some of what Bernie Sanders is putting out, some of the positive stuff. I found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little short ads. Let's watch some of them.
For 100 years, presidents have talked about the need to guarantee health care for all.
I've repeatedly asked the Congress to pass a health program. We are behind every country pretty nearly in Europe in this matter of medical care for our citizens.
Healthcare is not just a privilege, but a right for every single American.
Now is the time to take on the greed of the healthcare industry and finally pass Medicare for all. I'm Bernie Sanders, and I approve this message.
Short, simple, Medicare for all. That's what Bernie's all about. It's not flamboyant. It doesn't get your heart pounding, but it's real. It's a real ad. Let's watch this one.
Take a look around you and find someone you don't know. Maybe somebody who doesn't look kind of like you. Are you willing to fight for that person as much as you're willing to fight for yourself? If you and millions of others are prepared to do that, not only will we win this election, but together we will transform this country. I'm Bernie Sanders, and I approve this message.
That's another good one. That's 2. What else? Here's Iowa first. Let's watch Iowa first.
For generations, Iowa has fed the nation. Now, with the world facing...
Because we don't have... Bernie Sanders is not on the ground in Iowa right now. He's sitting on his ass in D.C. right now, sitting in the Senate. So this is what he's got. This is what he's got circulating around.
Generations, Iowa has fed the nation. Now, with the world facing a climate crisis, Iowa is poised to power America with clean energy. Only Bernie Sanders has a plan bold enough to avert the climate crisis and put Iowa first. As president, he'll make massive investments in Iowa's economy, create good-paying jobs, put money back in your pocket, and end the greed of fossil fuel executives. Bernie Sanders, a president who fights for us.
I'm Bernie Sanders, and I approve this message.
For generations, Iowa...
I know, you're saying, oh, Trump is the man. Trump, I'm good fucking Trump. I love my Trump. Oh, Trump. What's Trump done for you? What has Trump done for you? Nothing. Here's the betrayal of Trump.
Trump betrayed the voters of Wisconsin. Trump is 100% behind stealing tax dollars from the middle class to give to large corporations for empty promises. ever since I was a child. I can remember shopping at Shopko, and that's been wiped out. It's gone, and soon there will be no more Shopkos in the state. Kimberly-Clark, which is right in my backyard, has been offered tons of tax benefits, which are going to be nothing but the detriment to the Wisconsin taxpayer. That company is going to turn around, take that money, and leave the state anyways in a short period of time.
Donald Trump keeps cutting funding for education. Wisconsin used to be one of the leaders in public education, and now we are losing teachers. People are leaving the state. We can't get a good education here because of Donald Trump.
I've done everything I'm supposed to. I got a 4-year degree. I bought a home, and it's still hard. I have to work a part-time job to afford everything. I think we need Medicare for all, so that when people do fall through the cracks or are in between jobs, they don't have to lose everything.
You have a demagogue like Trump come in. He's promised the American people, those who voted for him, he's going to come in and fix this issue, right? And he's done nothing of the sort.
The president is stirring up a lot of hate and trying to divide the country.
You run into a big risk anytime you try to other people. You say that this group is different, these people are different from us.
We should be afraid of them.
We shouldn't be afraid of anyone. We should embrace.
Straight up lying to our brothers and sisters and some of the people that are most at risk in order to gain political power and to stroke his own ego is beyond maddening. There was a time in this country when the American dream meant that we all had not just the equal opportunity, but the equal tools to strive for those opportunities. We had a tax rate that would enable the building of highways that stretch from one end of the country to the other. We built these institutions and we built this infrastructure. We built this country together.
We're all humans and we all deserve dignity. We all deserve a chance. All anybody's asking for is a chance. There's no reason someone needs to have $10 billion when somebody else has nothing. That person fights just as hard.
Bernie is about bringing people together and accepting that we are all people. We are all essentially fighting for the same thing. Everybody just wants to live, and he wants people to work together to achieve that goal instead of trying to divide and conquer.
And I think that that's more American than anything else. Just to say, if someone else needs something, I'm going to help take care of them. And that's why I'm going to vote for Bernie, because I know that he's going to fight for the everyman, for all of us. It's not about what he wants. It's about what's right for the country.
Are those people still there after 2016? Are the Bernie tried and true still there? I think they are, man. I think they are. I think the evidence is... We're going to find out on Monday. Iowa.
Real change never takes place from the top on down, but always from the bottom on up.
Bernie Sanders' healthcare for all idea is gaining steam.
Free tuition, free college tuition, free tuition champion, Senator Bernie Sanders.
Bernie Sanders added, the greatest threat to national security is climate change.
The future of our planet is at stake.
Sanders taking on Amazon.
Bernie Sanders has been consistent hammering about income inequality.
Nobody in America works 40 hours a week, should be living in poverty. So our economy is rigged. We have a campaign finance system which is corrupt.
Sanders leading the charge to stop war against Yemen.
The first time ever the Senate has voted to end an unauthorized war.
The fight against injustice has been the work of his life.
Jobs and education, not jails and incarceration. We are not going to retreat on women's rights.
Sanders pushing a bold agenda that includes protecting DACA recipients and comprehensive immigration reform.
You don't rip little children away from the arms of their mother.
A major announcement from Amazon. Amazon will raise its minimum wage to $15 an hour. 350,000 workers. Thousands of workers at Disney World will get raises. It's a victory for Bernie Sanders.
It's a victory for all workers. Brothers and sisters, we have a lot of work in front of us. If we are prepared to stand together, there is no end to what the great people of our nation can accomplish.
Well, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking the right-left paradigm. Oh, you wanted to move back to the left. From the right to the left. That's what you're talking about. But no, that's not really what we're talking about at all. Well, what I'm talking about, when I watch this message, I don't see right and left. I see oligarchy, the 1%, the powerful corporations that are smothering this country and the people in it. And the people standing there, at this point, pretty much helpless. That's the division I see. I don't see a blue versus red or a Democrat versus Republican. I see in the Sanders movement, us, the people, the 99% of the people in this country, fighting against the rich, powerful 1%, the corporations, the banks, the oligarchs, the political corrupt machine. That's what I see when I see it, right? And I also hear it when I hear Bruce Springsteen ripping it out.
Wasted summer praying and praying for a savior to rise from these streets. Well, I'm no hero that's understood all the redemption I can offer girls beneath this dirt.
I just think Bernie Sanders is the best hope for this country right now. I think he's clearly poised to win. He's going to win. He's going to win in Iowa. Fucking unbelievable, right? Who knew in 2016 we were watching him fail? Oh, it's such a failure. He lost. He capitulated. He bowed the knee to Hillary Clinton. And now here we are. 4 years later. We're standing here looking down the barrel of Iowa. Everything they're throwing at him, they're throwing every piece of shit at him that they can. They're trying to fucking hoodwink him. Nothing's working, man. They're trying to sabotage him with shit ads. And what happens? He's winning. He's winning. All I could say is, California, here we come, man. You guys got to throw a 50,000 person rally in California and show the country, show the world who's in charge, who's going to win this fucking thing, man. Who has the people? The people behind him. Joe Biden is up in Iowa right now. He's got the whole state to himself. He can't get 100 people in front of him. Joe B. Buttigieg can't get anybody to clap. Elizabeth Warren, well, she's not there either. But the two jackoffs that are up there right now can't get anything going. They can't get anything going without... It's Bernie Sanders. It's Bernie Sanders to win. Sing it, please.
The door is open, but the right it ain't free. I don't know those words that I ain't spoken. But that girl will be free. All the promises